The town was called Silent Hollow, a name whispered on the wind, a name that carried with it a sense of foreboding and mystery. It was a warning carried on the breeze, a subtle hint of the secrets that lay within. Silent Hollow clung to the edges of ancient forests, shrouded in mist and forgotten by time. The trees, ancient and gnarled, seemed to whisper their own secrets to those who dared to listen. Few dared to speak its name, and even fewer dared to venture within its borders. The town was a place of legends and ghost stories, a place where the past seemed to linger in every shadow. I was drawn to Silent Hollow like a moth to a flickering flame. The allure of the unknown, the promise of uncovering hidden truths, was too strong to resist. As a writer, I was always chasing legends, seeking inspiration in the heart of darkness. The stories of Silent Hollow, with their eerie charm and unsettling details, were a siren call I couldn't ignore. The rumors were unsettling, tales of strange occurrences and whispered secrets. People spoke of ghostly apparitions, of voices carried on the wind, of shadows that moved on their own. But I craved the truth, however unsettling it may be. I needed to see for myself, to experience the eerie atmosphere and uncover the stories that had been buried by time. As I drove deeper into the forgotten countryside, the sun began its slow descent. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, a stark contrast to the darkening landscape below. Shadows stretched like grasping claws, twisting familiar shapes into menacing forms. The trees, once welcoming, now seemed to loom over the road, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The road narrowed, the pavement crumbling beneath my tires, leading me ever closer to the town shrouded in mystery. Each bump and crack in the road seemed to echo the town's forgotten past. With each passing mile, a sense of unease settled over me, a prickling at the back of my neck. It was as if the very air grew heavier, thick with unspoken truths and hidden dangers. The fog grew denser, wrapping around the trees and buildings like a shroud. It was as if the town itself was trying to hide, to keep its secrets from prying eyes. But my curiosity, a relentless beast, urged me onward. I had come too far to turn back now. The stories of Silent Hollow were waiting to be uncovered, and I was determined to bring them to light. As I stood at the edge of the town, looking at the mist-covered buildings, I felt a chill run down my spine. The air was thick with anticipation, as if the town itself was waiting for me. I began to walk through the deserted streets, my footsteps echoing in the silence. The buildings, once full of life, now stood empty and abandoned, their windows like dark, hollow eyes. I reached out and touched an old, weathered door, pushing it open with a creak. The inside was dark and musty, filled with the remnants of a life long forgotten. As I explored the abandoned house, I found old photographs and furniture, covered in dust and cobwebs. Each item told a story, a glimpse into the lives of those who had once called this place home. In one of the rooms, I found an old journal, its pages yellowed with age. As I opened it and began to read, I felt a connection to the past, to the people who had lived and loved in Silent Hollow. The journal was filled with handwritten notes and sketches, detailing the daily lives and struggles of the town's inhabitants. It was a window into a world that had been lost to time. As I looked out of the window, seeing the misty town below, I felt a sense of melancholy. Silent Hollow was a place of beauty and sorrow, a place where the past and present seemed to intertwine. I left the house and walked back into the misty streets, my mind filled with the stories I had uncovered. Silent Hollow had revealed its secrets to me, and I knew that I would never be the same. As I stood at the edge of the town, looking back one last time, I felt a sense of closure. Silent Hollow had shared its whispers on the wind, and I had listened. Now it was time to leave, but the memories of this place would stay with me forever. The road to Silent Hollow was not marked on any map I could find. It was as if the very existence of the place was a secret, whispered only among those who dared to venture into the unknown. The journey began with a sense of curiosity, but as I drove deeper into the forest, that curiosity turned into a mix of apprehension and determination. It was as if the town itself wanted to remain hidden, shrouded in mystery and forgotten by time. The path was barely visible, overgrown with thick underbrush and tangled vines that seemed to reach out like ghostly fingers, trying to pull me back. Swallowed by the relentless march of time, the road had become a mere suggestion of a path, a whisper of what once was. Nature had reclaimed it, as if to erase any trace of human presence. The forest pressed close on either side, the trees standing like silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of Silent Hollow. Their branches intertwined overhead, creating a natural archway that seemed to welcome and warn in equal measure. The trees gnarled and ancient, their branches intertwined overhead, forming a canopy that blotted out the fading light. It was as if the forest itself was alive, breathing and watching, its presence palpable in the air. Forming a canopy that blotted out the fading light, the forest grew darker with each passing moment. The sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense foliage, casting eerie shadows that danced on the forest floor. The air grew heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Each step I took stirred the rich, loamy soil, releasing the musty aroma of the forest's slow decay. It was a smell that spoke of life and death, of cycles unbroken and time unending. A strange silence had descended upon the woods, a silence so profound it felt almost tangible. It was as if the forest was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen, something that had been foretold in whispers and shadows. Broken only by the sound of my own breath and the steady thump of my heart against my ribs, the silence was both comforting and unnerving. Each breath seemed louder, each heartbeat a reminder of my own vulnerability in this ancient, untamed place. Even the birds seemed to avoid this place, their songs absent from the oppressive stillness. It was as if they knew something I did not, as if they had fled from a danger unseen but deeply felt. Their songs absent from the oppressive stillness, the forest felt like a world apart, a place where time stood still and the rules of the outside world no longer applied. It was a place of quiet desolation, where the only sounds were those I brought with me. As I rounded a bend in the road, I saw it, a sight that seemed to materialize out of the shadows, a relic of a forgotten past. A weathered sign, half hidden by overgrown vines, stood as a silent testament to the passage of time. The vines clung to it like desperate hands, trying to pull it back into the earth. Its paint peeling like sunburnt skin, the sign bore the scars of years of neglect. The once vibrant colors had faded, leaving behind a ghostly reminder of what once was. The name, Silent Hollow, was barely legible, the letters twisted and faded, as if time itself had tried to erase it from existence. It was a name that seemed to carry a weight, a history that was both intriguing and foreboding. The letters twisted and faded, as if time itself had tried to erase it from existence. It was a place that time had forgotten, but one that still held a powerful grip on the imagination. A shiver ran down my spine, a primal instinct warning me of danger. It was a feeling that was hard to shake, a sense that I was being watched, that the forest itself was aware of my presence. But I had come too far to turn back now. The journey had become more than just a quest for a hidden town. It had become a test of my own resolve, a challenge to face the unknown and uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows. I pressed on, the tires crunching on the gravel road, each turn of the wheel bringing me closer to the heart of the mystery. The road was rough and uneven, a testament to the years of neglect and the relentless encroachment of nature. My heart pounding in my chest, I knew that whatever lay ahead, I was ready to face it. The road less traveled had led me here, to the edge of the unknown, and there was no turning back now. guide. A reminder that sometimes the most intriguing stories are found in the most unexpected places. The room was small and sparsely furnished, the air heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. A single window looked out onto the deserted street, the glass cracked and grimy. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the creaking of the floorboards beneath my feet. I tried to shake off the unease that had settled over me, but it clung to me like a shroud. The innkeeper's words echoed in my mind, especially not ones who asked too many questions. What was he hiding? What secrets lurked beneath the surface of this forgotten town? As darkness fell, the shadows in the room seemed to lengthen and twist, taking on menacing forms. The wind howled outside, rattling the window in its frame. I could have sworn I heard whispers, faint and indistinct, coming from just beyond the edge of my hearing. Sleep was impossible. I lay awake, listening to the sounds of the night, my mind racing with questions. What had happened in Silent Hollow? Why was everyone so secretive? And what was it about the old innkeeper that sent